Have everyone? So, hi Jane, how you doing?
Hi, really good.
Good. Got the rest of the group here. So we're getting started. Right. What we're going to start with then is the minutes of the previous meeting that were emailed out by Sarah last week. Did anyone find any corrections or anything missing from those minutes? Okay, if I could get a motion then to accept those minutes.
Make a motion.
Harry, and it could I have a second?
I'll second it.
And Sue will second it. All those in favor of passing the minutes as they are, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, so moved. In front of you, you'll have an oath of office. We shall start with that. And since I wasn't here last month, we tabled it till this month. So if everybody could, yes. Everybody could just, I'll read part of it and then you'll follow with that part. And this is our oath of office for being a library board member. We're required to do, okay? So I do solemnly swear or affirm.
I solemnly swear or affirm
That I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York.
that I support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of trustee of the Bolton Free Library in Bolton Landing according to the best of my ability.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of trustee of the Bolton Free Library in Bolton Landing according to the best of my ability.
Okay, so you should,
Everyone, then you have to sign everybody's, oath. You guys have to
Right.
sign it. And then you all have to, Linda has to sign all of yours and then
should they circle trustee on it?
Yes.
So, circle trustee and then sign the paper and then you will pass it back up to me.
Copy, what copy?
Oh, actually,
Passing out?
we have to cross out the date and put February.
Oh. Sorry.
So the 26th day of February, 2025. And just put it your initial under the corrections if you could. And then pass them back to me. And I will sign off that I administered the oath to all of you. The next business we have is the conflict of interest policy and form. We'll want to read that over, but it basically is saying that there isn't any reason that we would be unable to be, we don't have any conflict of interest with the library that would prevent us from, being a board member. Going through, send this in the back. Have fun. Okay. We'll keep these oaths on file. So if you want to take your time, you can read the conflict of interest over when you're done the meeting today and then sign it. And then you'll also give that back to me this evening, okay, before you leave. Any questions about that at all? Okay, so that means we can move on to the treasurer's financial report. Michelle had sent that out to everyone. Does anyone have any questions, or Erin, was there anything did want you to point out?
Related to the specific email, there is one voting item that we'll vote on, if you'd like to do that first.
Yeah, we could go ahead and do that now.
Did anybody have any questions concerning the email from Michelle?
So what it basically was there was $1,000 that was missing that we just took $1,000 from another item and put it back in there. So the budget is still balanced. It's a matter of switching the amounts of two different things.
Exactly. So what we're gonna ask you to vote on is we're going to increase the total utilities in our general ledger by $1,000. And it's going to accommodate the expense for the generator. And to balance the budget, we can increase the amount of revenue that we will earn for the appeal letter to $23,000. So again, just to summarize, we're increasing the expense for the generator to $1,000, and to balance the budget, then we're going to increase the appeal letter to $23,000. And I think that this is a realistic target. Both Michelle and I agree, because what we've taken in so far for the annual appeal contributions for 2024 and 2025 is already $24,724. So we have hit that if we do raise the budget to $25,000. So are there any questions before we put that up for a vote?
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion.
Yes, Terry would like to make a motion to update or correct the report. And if I could have a second.
I'll second that, Very.
Very seconded. All those in favor of fixing the budget or of fixing the treasury, the budget to fit. Help me.
The 2025 budget.
Right, thank you. To reflect the correct amount, say aye. Those opposed? Nay.
Don't you dare.
Those-
Make them jump.
Yeah, please, don't make
Make
me
them jump.
trouble the system. Sure.
Over from
Yeah.
Michelle as well. They had in your email. We went on the appeal contribution.
Which we're very, very excited about, very happy to have gotten that amount because it's considerably higher by a couple thousand than it has been for the last couple of years.
It
So,
is.
Any indication of what?
That's what I was going to ask to the group, because I've also noticed that over the past 4 years, when we average out the, when it increased significantly, in some years 4%, in some years 6% year over year, the average contribution per donor has also been increasing. So I was curious as to if anybody had any information as to why, but that's a really good thing that we can keep that trend.
Michelle had pointed out at a previous meeting that we might be receiving less physical donations, but more money.
well, I think last year we got it out kind of late after the
Mhm.
holidays. This year we got it before the holidays. So I think that really helped having it for that Giving Tuesday when everybody's thinking about writing their checks at the end of the year and things like that. And I think that, the libraries have been in the news in the past years, and that people are inclined to want to support them, and it's a financial way and a physical way by showing support to a library by sending money. So I don't know. Anybody else have any ideas? No. It's good.
So it'll be interesting to track that as we go forward.
Right.
Just to recap as well, we did vote at the last meeting to renew the 6-month CD that was maturing on February 17th. So we did renew that. The new maturity date is now November 18th, 2025. And then just to recap as well from Michelle's email, we did upgrade to QuickBooks Pro. So we went from QuickBooks Online Essentials to QuickBooks Plus Online. So this gives us the capacity now to also do budgeting in QuickBooks, which allows us to also track the actuals, which we're currently doing in QuickBooks. And what this will help move us away from is from tracking it all in Excel, so that it just provides an extra layer of review and accuracy to the data without as much manual labor. So I'm working right now on inputting the budget for 2025 that we just voted on tonight, and I'll start doing that this week into QuickBooks, and Michelle and I are getting used to the new budget feature, but so far, so good. So we'll keep updating on that.
Have you been familiar with QuickBooks all along? Or is this new?
For me, it's rather new. I used to do other financial programs, but never really for accounting. I wasn't an accountant by trade, so I haven't necessarily used QuickBooks. But it's actually very intuitive to use. It's very easy. I would say even if you have a very limited background in budgeting or accounting or finance, it's quite intuitive. And the site actually has free training for all of their features and functionality as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's been quite helpful.
good, good. Well, thank you for doing that because
Oh,
I know it's a
absolutely.
lot and I know that Michelle's trying to, move on. So having
Yeah,
somebody
so we're
that's
going to be
willing to.
transitioning over the next few
Right.
months.
Mhm. Right, and then hopefully have a bookkeeper too,
Yes.
right? So that there's double.
Exactly. We want to have an additional layer of control on this. Anytime you're having anybody who's writing checks, also balancing the budget, and reconciling the bank statements, it would be very good for us to have that additional layer of control for that. And so that's where I think having the bookkeeper also involved in this process will help implement that.
do you have a bookkeeper?
I think we do, actually. I don't know her name,
Denise
but I
Johnson?
think Michelle is currently.
That's all.
It's supposed to be Denise Johnson, but I don't know that it was fine.
Right, I don't
Right.
think so either, but.
But if anybody knows of anyone else, in case that doesn't work out, then certainly pass that
Yes, let us
You know,
know.
she does, she uses QuickBooks,
information. So she knows.
and she works in our accounting department,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
she's very familiar.
Okay,
Her
perfect.
husband, she knows her husband.
Very good, very good. And then just one additional item to share with you as well. I think that this was brought to your attention in the email, but we did have she had summed up the expenses for the month, and we had one other invoice come in from New York Fire and Security. This was to service the alarm system this past month. So just to remind you, we do have a contract that we contract with New York Fire and Security for, so we pay a monthly or annual expense for the contract. But anytime we have to call them for a service order to come out, like for that alarm system, we are charged additional fees. There's a service charge to come out, and then we're charged by the hour for the labor to repair, make whatever repairs are necessary. And so that's what this invoice reflects. It came to a total of $635 for that service. We do have the money in the budget for that, but just to let you know that this will be included also in the.
Michelle said to make sure you guys realize that they came twice, to make sure that it was fixed. And she pointed out to me that he gets $125 an hour. And they did say the night that I called them in the middle of the night that they could come out then, but we probably didn't need them.
With the
Get it with you.
So was the alarm going off? Is that what was?
Not the outside alarm, but it had notified the monitoring system company, who was then calling people who didn't pick up their phone in the middle of the night.
I got calls like that.
So I
There were
did
three
get a
of us
call
that
and
called.
went, and was able to silence it, but it didn't stay silenced.
It was beeping nonstop in the library during the day.
I have a question later, it probably doesn't fit to that, about the procedure. You know, like I called Megan when I got the call. I just wanted to go through the procedure again, what we're supposed to do.
Yes, well,
You're
We're
not
supposed
supposed to call me.
yes, actually.
I'm glad you did, and I would have even met them.
Am I supposed to, but Ray was, well, the school might be different, but that's with the fire alarm went off at the school, then in insurance and liability, like a board member cannot go to the school, it had to be somebody that worked there, so he would either go or he'd call the custodian, so I just wondered on the liability.
Well,
You can't
let's
just go down.
talk about that maybe afterwards.
After, okay.
Because we were told, yes, to come in here and then just to put the code in, just check, make sure everything is okay. And then put the code in, but maybe.
If you drive up and there's fire trucks, you don't come in.
Just open the door and see it.
Right. But it is the three of us, so maybe Lynn, myself, and Mary, we could stay after and,
I'll definitely go over it with you,
yes.
but it might be a good idea if that was an issue at the school, maybe we do need to find out.
Because he said liability, you can come there and, you know.
Might be
I
worth
just
finding
wanted
out.
to find out.
Okay. That's a good question, because we were as I recall, when I was first put on there, we were supposed to come here,
Right.
look around, and then just, if it's obvious that there isn't anything wrong, then just to put in the code and then let you know,
Mm.
but.
They just don't want to be liable, if even if you don't tell somebody, then you're liable, which I did, call you in the middle of the night.
Yeah, so that, I mean, that's a good point. I hadn't really thought about it, but, or if you get hurt here and things like that, and
Yeah.
you're not an employee, so we should talk about that a little bit more.
Michelle might be able to answer the question too, because
Mm.
I believe there is some coverage for trustees
Mhm.
in our policy.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, I think there is. I know when we're on library grounds or a library business, even
Right.
if we went off-site to go to a workshop or something like that, we would be covered. So, but we'll do a little more research on that and figure that out.
And I'll just give us the invoice for the fire alarm to the buildings and grounds.
Okay.
And then it has to go back. I think she just wanted them to see it, but then it has to get paid.
Okay.
So it has
So
to go back.
she
to-
has it to get paid, so she could keep that. Do we also keep that? Do we have a file for the alarm here too that you want to keep it in?
I don't.
No.
I've never had it's always been part of the bookkeeping.
Okay.
But if the buildings and grounds want a copy of it, you can give it to them. And I can start a file if you think it's necessary.
Only because if anything happened to Michelle's files, I mean, it would be good to have, in case someone says to you, well, when was the last time the alarm was worked on?
Okay,
You would be able to answer that.
I don't have anything prior to tonight, but I can. certainly
Yeah, let's
tonight.
start it. Let's start out. Give that to her. So we have that here. Okay, so. Financial. Anything else then, Erin?
No, nothing else. Any questions from anyone?
No? Okay, good job. All right, then we're on to the director's report, but she's tied up. So, well, I'll skip ahead just for a second to the committee assignments. I sent everyone out a list of the committees, and then I have them here. Did anybody have any questions about them? I've got this. You have that? All right. We do need to vote on the committees. So if anybody has any questions about them or any concerns, let me know now before we vote to go ahead with them. No, because that's, I mean, that's all we have. I just had extra in case people had decided to join in. But yes, there are more members there than there are people. But that's what we have right now. So if I could have a motion to accept the committees as written on this memo.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Erin will make a motion. And could I have a second? And Joan will second. All those in favor of the committees as they stand, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, so moved. All right, we'll go back to the director's progress report.
There seems to be a little bit of a trend on decreasing circulation. I don't know if it could be weather, could be a number of things. The library itself, we definitely have slow days, but then we have days where it's kind of steady all day long. So been here a long time and I still don't know what the trend is. But the number of people using the Wi-Fi went up over the for the month of January, so that's kind of, we did signed up 15 new people in January, which is very exciting. There was even a family with children that are actually going to be going to the school. And our coffee hour, I think, was one of the biggest we had in January. It was 14 people. Trivia is doing well again. Book club, we had 12 people. And painting with Patrice, there was 8, and then there's another painting with Patrice tomorrow night. Right now, we're at 6 people, but. Terry, I don't
You don't
paint.
want me to paint.
Dude, I don't paint either, but come on, really good. The display is, Mary and I put it together. It's Love a Good Book. Mary did the lettering, she did all the stapling, I found the books.
There you go.
And then we both kind of arranged it, so it came out really pretty. Next month is, we haven't done it yet. Mary and I will be talking. It could be just, yeah, an idea from our idea.
Treasure something.
Oh, yeah. Books are your treasure.
I'm using all my old bulletin boards for 25 years now.
Awesome. Mary's been helping me too with the after school program. It's wonderful. The kids love to have the 2 of us. We both take a book, we have a book to read. The Measure Your Feet came out great. The kids love that. We've done the, did we do the stars?
No,
Yeah,
this week we're doing random acts of kindness.
So it's a random act of kindness, and we're also doing where they can, we have directions on drawing George Washington or Abraham Lincoln, a really simple one. I didn't do mine yet.
Everybody can do it. It was. I do a little at a time. They now they all have, they're all different.
The kids are really having a good time, and we are too.
Are they, we're still doing it down at their
Yes,
area?
until the weather changes. Once it's nice enough, then Bambi will start walking up here again.
And will Patrice still have the program if they're only 6?
I think so. Yes, she did say in her email that if we don't get it, because I let her know that they were sick, and she said then it'll just be an intimate little gathering.
I know she just sent out, because I got an email tonight, so she must be trying to
Yes.
get a couple more people, maybe.
And 2
Maybe
people
they'll go.
did sign up, so that was what brought it up to 6.
Oh, good, good. So if anyone else, it is fun to do. I mean, it really is.
I honestly, the paintings come out great. People, everyone's,
Yeah.
I don't know how to paint. I don't paint. I'm not an artist, but I can do really good stick figures. I actually did a chickadee that I loved. I was stunned. It said it's a chickadee light or a chickadee-ish, but it's really great. So, and the one that we're doing tomorrow night is the moon and clouds, and they're beautiful. So you really should think about doing some of them. Lynn has done a bunch of them.
Yep. I've done the 3 little ones. The chickadee.
Yeah.
Yep. I like them. And it's fun because everybody's is a little bit different, but it's fun how.
Sarah made her son come last month, and he's a very, has a very quick wit. And someone said, how's it turning out? And he said, oh, it is artwork. But when he was finished, it was really great. And he's also that kid that's like, he's not gonna tell you he's having fun. But he and his father did it together, and it was really cool. Every single painting is just different enough.
Nice. If I could get a motion to accept the director's report. Motion,
What was that? I second.
Mary and Sue. All right, very good. So we can skip over the committee assignments. We're done. We had no executive meetings this month. Financial, Erin has taken care of.
Linda,
Oh, I'm sorry.
you skipped the social media,
Oh,
Social
social media report.
you all are receiving that? The social
Yes,
media report
yeah.
from Sarah.
Yes.
It's going well.
Mhm.
How many do we have?
About
According to-
1,100 on Facebook.
on Instagram, we're up to 609 followers.
Social media. Sorry, Sarah. All right, moving on to policies and procedures. The 2 policies that we had sent out, pretty simple policy. One was just for anyone to be able to get a library card. The other one is how they're signing into the computer. If nobody has any questions about that, then we'll go ahead and vote to approve those policies. Did anybody need to see it again, or are you okay with having read it online. So if I could have a motion, Lynn will make a motion and a second by Mary. And all in favor of passing that new policy, and those opposed? Okay, so moved. So they will be added to the policies and procedure book, and then that will have to be page table of contents caught up, and then hopefully we'll have that done by next month. And for those of you who ever wanted to see a physical copy, we can either send you a digital copy of it or physical copies back there. There's two different booklets there. One is policies and procedures for the library. The other is employee handbook. And anytime anybody's welcome to have some extra reading, I would like to go through them. They are kept on site. So, okay. Down to long range plan. I'm gonna make a meeting sometime in March with that group and sort of get them up to snuff with what had been
people are recommending.
right. So Mary and Megan had actually done one about 2 years ago, 2023. But as we have looked into it a little bit more, this was what we think based on other policies that or other long range plans that we looked at. But what we didn't have a component of where we had actually asked our community what they want from us. So we want our long range to reflect what they, what the community tells us they would like. So what we'd like to do is take this and add to it and make sure we're on the right track. So one of Megan's goals for this year is to work with that long range committee to come up with a survey, maybe 5 questions, like a monkey survey, which is Jim survey. I don't know. It's some kind of orangutan survey. Gorilla. But something that we can have in our newsletter that we could send out to our community, but also physically have it here so that we give it to the coffee hour. We give it to the chess club. We'll give it to, interview people that are here, ask them to fill it out. And so that we can mention in here at the beginning is that we were able to survey hopefully 150 people. And these are the things that we would like to.
I'd also, if we can get the survey done, and I don't know who signed up for that committee, but think about questions. I do have some, I've been doing some research. You want to be very careful how you word the questions because you don't want to
Lead them
to the, I know what answer I want from them, but I can't tell them. So think about types of questions, do a little bit of,
see what other.
You can even go to some of the other libraries' websites and see what their long range plans are.
Right. I think they may even have done on a trustee book club on long range plans.
They might have too.
So you can, and that's how I
can
knew
look.
when we got this, and I said, oh, that looks beautiful, except what they told us in that workshop is that we need to have reaching out into our community. So I'm going to give you that, and then
I will look to see if there is a workshop because they record all of them, so you can actually watch it.
Right, and if you do listen to that, you can count that as your 2 hours of community education, okay, which we'll get to in a little bit. Okay, so that's the long range plan committee. Now we're on to fundraising. So I have some exciting news. The Township of Bolton is going to allow us to have a pickleball tournament.
All right.
So I talked to Michelle today, and they're going to put aside the courts for us. We came up with a date of May 17th and 18th because we don't want it to be in the dead of summer when it's really busy. So we want to do it a little bit pre-season. And so, oh darn it! And I was counting on you as my pickleball person. Oh no! So, but anyway, so if you want to pencil that into your calendar, I think it'll be a fun event, and I think the pickleball community will be just as excited about it as our library community, because they're going to, the people that I know here in Bolton are going to the ones that are down in Glens Falls and Saratoga and stuff. So to have one locally, I think they'll be really excited.
I will be back on the 16th, so I can work before I go.
I'm gonna put you in the top group to play all the.
My last play will be tomorrow until we're back tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I got it. So, anyway, so I'll start working on probably mid-March, maybe seeing if anybody's interested in being on that committee, and we'll get together and start talking about that. Buildings and grounds.
I did have one
Oh,
idea for fundraising.
oh, great.
A friend of Sarah's, actually, she's a friend of mine as well. She had an idea she sent us a link to, there was an animal shelter, did this, badly drawn animal. So you would bring a photograph of your pet, and then there would be just a panel of people to actually draw from the photograph, and that would be what they get. So they make a donation to the library, and in exchange, they get this really lovely painting or drawing of their animals. And they can, and the animal shelter raised $23,000. So I love the idea. I'm trying to work it out in my head how we could implement that. I think that could be really fun. I would let them do my dogs. Mine are pretty.
So you mean people draw their own pets?
No, so we would ask for volunteers from the community to sit here at different days, maybe a couple of times through the year. And then you bring in a picture of Ella.
Oh, Rosie?
Rosie. And you won't know you would know who the artist is, but understand they're not going to be an artist. So they will draw a picture, they'll give you a picture back.
Okay.
Frame worthy.
That's cute.
So the pet doesn't have to follow you.
We don't allow pets, right?
Okay.
So
Good.
it is just a thought that we're trying to put together.
What would you call it? Drawing? Or drawing?
Gotta come up with something.
Yes, we'll have to think.
It'll be cute.
of that. All right, buildings and grounds. These have been on here for a while. They're not doing this striping till the spring, maybe. We know about the grant in the spring. The grants, we put in for a grant with the ALA for the bathroom door, so we'll wait to hear if we get that. We're
Any
not,
idea when that should be?
We don't know. Sarah submitted the grant 2 weeks ago.
Oh, the ALA one?
Yeah.
That is, hopefully in March, though, and it's.
Oh, you haven't sent it in yet?
Oh, no, I wasn't there.
Oh, okay. So we'll know in March.
we don't have any plans yet to move the flagpole, although we've talked about it. And we'll talk after this about the emergency protocol list. There was actually another thing, and maybe we'll be talking about this in grants, but we are going to put in a grant to try to redo the flooring in the back room because the hardwood is getting scuffed up before it gets too far gone. They want to do that and reupholster the chairs so that they all match.
Which chairs?
The ones in the back.
I know, but there's a lot of different chairs. Which chairs are you talking?
The chairs that have upholstery on them.
You've got recliners, you've got like dining room chairs.
Not the dining room.
No.
So it would be the 2 Morris chairs
Okay,
that are recliners, and then there's 2 armchairs
okay.
that have the upholstered back and seat.
Okay.
And I'm sure I think that's what they were talking about.
I didn't know that they were talking about full reclining chairs. I thought because the not like this, right? Not full.
They're-
Like that.
They're antique
Okay.
recliners. They're
Right.
called a Morris chair.
Oh, okay.
They're actually
and-
pretty valuable.
Yes. And those are the chairs that the upholstery is very worn and starting to fade. So those would be the ones. And I'm just telling you, don't go to the guy down in Lake George Village because it took him 3 years to do my grandmother's chair.
Yeah, they are fast. I've only had one done, and it was months, and then they did it wrong.
Well, and then, I'd given them the two names that you gave, but Carla seems to think they're more boat people, like, Canvas and.
Yeah.
Mitzi has done
Yes,
upholstery.
she has done.
Yes. She's actually very good.
All right, then, is there anything else with buildings and grounds, Lynn? Yeah, that's about, I think that was everything. So, all right, so we'll move on to the book sale. Everybody pencil in those dates. Hopefully you can be here, especially for the setup and breakdown. We do have quite a few friends that work during the sale, but the setup and cleanup are the ones that we can really use all hands on deck. The grants, is there any grant we didn't talk about, Jane or Sarah, that in our,
We've got new ones that have been submitted. Jane, did you want to talk about those?
Yeah, they were amazing. No, we had such a, it's really fun now. It's like, it's really fun working on this with Sarah now because we're kind of both in it and going back and forth a bit. And then it's really good because like, just they're getting stronger and better. And it really does count when we list the kinds of support we're getting, when we list like all these individual, like the pickleball tournament, like some money from that. Those things look really good on the grants. So anyway, we put in a wonderful grant. I hope we get it. It's to give more books to the school and to homeschool kids. And then we're also going to hear back from the Silvamo place in Ticonderoga, the printing place. I think that's next month in March, which is like tomorrow. So let's hope that goes well. And I don't know what else, Sarah. I know you're working on the shopper.
We're still waiting to hear on Silvano. Coming up in March, we should hear from the ALA round 3. That's the one we asked for 20,000 for the doors to be upgraded to motion sensors. We should hear back on the Silvano grant Jane submitted, and the Stewart's Holiday Match will also be announced in March. The recent ones we've submitted have been the Adirondack Foundation, the ALA Peggy Barber grant for Friends of the Libraries. Or no, that was for the combating seniors to help combat senior isolation in the community. That'll be notified in March. We also submitted a $1,000 grant through ALA for a brand new grant they have offered for friends groups. And they don't have to be formal friends groups yet. So we submitted that one for a variety of things. And the one Jane and I just finished was the Charles R. Wood Foundation that got submitted yesterday, and that's due March 1st. So that should probably be announced around April or so.
Yeah,
And we're still
days
waiting
ahead
on
of
their act too.
how about the, when will we get the sign to put up the historical plaque?
Yeah, we received the Pomeroy sign. It was supposed to be 24 to 36 weeks, but we must have been like first in. And it's in the back. It's beautiful. It's this huge, heavy, bright blue one with the gold letters like you see around traveling around. We'll need to wait until spring and then decide where we're going to put it. And then organize a well-publicized event, a ceremony to put it in the ground. And we'll get the Post-Star here and hopefully maybe even a news channel and all the local publications, but kind of make a big deal out of it.
Did they give us the folder for the?
Yes. Yep. They gave us
the nail too?
Yep.
And we're storing it?
it's in the back
Okay.
aisle.
And
Yeah,
it's
it looks
basically,
really good.
if the UPS driver had had his way, we also were getting a bed. He did drop off a bed. And then he had to come back the next day. He said he did, I did tease him a little bit, and then he said he was so stressed about it because he saw me pass by, so he assumed I was coming back here. He came in, and the men were packing up, and he goes, "Don't leave, I have to put this stuff in." So, and they came. It's the sign, the post, and a bed.
All right, well, thank you. Great job, guys. Okay, personnel. Megan has her goals for the year, which is great. And we just do a mid-year evaluation and then an end-of-year evaluation. And then she does them for her employee, which is Sarah. So Those are just done once or twice a year.
Sarah's performance is always down.
Um, Sunshine Committee is Mary, and does anyone have anyone that needs to be thanked for anything that was done for the library? We listed Sarah Dallas
We
because
don't
she
need to
is,
send that out yet, because she isn't retired yet.
okay, but we do want to, when she does
Yeah.
fully retire.
I
send-
think she said in her email it was September or October.
Oh, okay, so we'll just have to. Anybody else that,
Did I send out to the board members who aren't board members anymore? Thank you. for prosecuting.
have we done that in the past?
I don't know.
No, it hadn't, but you know what? I think it's a really nice one to do.
Yeah.
So that's really nice to do.
Trustees who are no longer on the board, just to thank you.
And Elizabeth.
So,
And if you could thank her for staying to, we did that
okay.
last meeting. Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you, Mary. And the farmer's market, we have put in the paperwork to participate next year in the farmer's market again. And that's it. I mean, we're an automatic shoo-in, right?
There was someone who helped me last year, and I know his name was Bill Smith, but I'm not sure if you know who that is.
No, I didn't know who that man was.
He came
Mhm.
to the fair.
Did we send him a card? Did we end up?
We did. He's helped every farmer's market. He would come after the end and bring everything back to the library in his truck, which was great.
Oh, he was a volunteer's husband. Well, made him a volunteer. but-
Somebody who was at the, I thought his wife was part of your group. If Mary can, like, that would be great. I want to make sure we can.
Right. Did you say it was Robin's? And
I don't know. No, it isn't.
he must have just shown up on his own then.
No, he
because
came to
didn't
help.
email.
He did come to help set up for the children's authors book fair. So we can find it that way. I think we might have written that down.
Didn't we do everybody who helped them?
No, but he had a pickup and he helped me at the farmer's market.
So she's just trying to get his information. She just wanted information from that side.
I'll have to look back.
We'll look, we'll find it. If no one else has it.
Okay, so that's all the committee reports. And here going forward, now that we have committees and committee chairs, if the chairs would then give some kind of report if you had a meeting or if anything is new. Okay? So if I could have a motion to accept that report, please. Someone-
I'll make the motion.
Lynn will make a motion and Terry will second. Okay, all those in favor of approving the committee reports, aye. Okay, on to unfinished business. We talked about the Pomeroy marker, so we'll look to, when's a good time of year to dig a hole?
After
May.
the last frost.
So, yes, if there's, so maybe sometime in May, something
May
like
would be
that,
a
we'll
good
look
spot,
to,
May, June.
we could have it as the same week as the pickleball tournament and have them
There you
hold
go.
it up while we put the cement in. Yeah, exactly, so, then unfinished business trustee training requirements. Everyone needs at least 2 hours of training, so that would be listening to, some kind of seminar or attending one live or listening to one that's on the, Sal's website. If you look up trustee book handbook program. Do we have a copy of that, this year's, let's put a list up for next month, giving out the list of programs that the employee trustee handbook.
Okay, I thought I sent it to you guys.
Did it, oh, they may have sent it out.
I
Is
sent you
everybody?
links to the,
Mhm.
let's see,
Okay, all right,
I will do it again. Just-
okay, all right.
Hey, 2 hours.
And you said they were an hour and a half more,
Uh-huh.
except the sexual harassment, which is 45 minutes.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
that
know.
doesn't count as your 2 hours of training.
Oh, that's required.
That is required.
Okay. How can we sign up for
Didn't,
any?
it's not on,
What
I
do you
didn't do
do
it
to
on the
sign
agenda,
up?
but I,
The one I watched, you didn't have to sign up. You could just go and do it.
But how do you then have proof to see?
Yeah.
It's a certificate.
some get some, send you a gift certificate. But then also there's a self-assurance, certificate that you can just, I can give you a copy of and you can sign.
So, do you want to resend those links
Yep.
for us?
Just look at this, the normal sound. It's very loud.
Okay, and I think we're on seed library. Did you want to talk a little bit about that, Sarah?
Sure, we're gonna start Saturday with our first library hours that Amy set up. We received all our seeds for free from 2 different companies that I sent emails to requesting. And what we're doing is the packets, excuse me, of seed we received got put into these small coin envelopes. So each seed packet has anywhere from 20 to 200 seeds, depending on the variety. We have vegetables and flowers. And a person who has a library card and is a resident of Bolton, we're gonna set it up on a weekly basis, starting Saturday, and there'll be a sign-up sheet. And if they can come in and get, Megan and I need to look and see how many we have at the end of me getting this organized. Anywhere from probably 5 to 7 of these little envelopes for different varieties. Each week they can come back with their card and get 6 or 7 more. If the program takes off, we might do just 5 every week, and we'll make sure that they can only get 5 of each, a different variety. They can't take all 5 of moonflowers, which is our shortest, our smallest amount, something like that. We're going to kind of be fluid as we go forward. And if nobody is interested in the program, anyone who wants to can come. We'll just let them sign out as much as they want. So it's kind of a test program, but we're really excited about it. So we'll start advertising. We'll do a sign-up sheet. So if it is successful, we'll know which seeds were popular, which weren't. But they were all free. It's only costing us time and a few supplies like these little envelopes. So hopefully they'll take advantage of it. We'll start advertising on social media. We announced it a few weeks ago that it was coming. So we'll be starting on Saturday. Yeah, it's been fun.
Okay, we're asking that library representative goes to the town meetings. So if you haven't signed up for one, if you would sign up, that would be great. And Megan, can you tell me a little bit about what you would want us to do there? Because that's what people wanted to know. Like,
I can give, come up with like a little talking points. It's, mentioned, I always try to remind the town board and the few people that attend about the affinity program, because it does make the minutes seconds. You tell the board about the programs that we have coming up that month. The meeting is very early in the month, so it's also, it's really more of a creating some good. The town likes to see us there. And if there's any month that somebody wants me to go with them, I'm more than happy. I think the more that our trustees are out in the public, the better it looks for us.
so if we took like the information from the newsletter, like of
Mhm.
what programs or our, agenda, if we can say this is what's coming up in the next month. And
Or you could, if there's not a whole lot happening here, you can talk about the book club that meets every month. You can mention that, Sarah and I, every month in the newsletter, we have our book recommendation. You could say, there's not a lot happening this month, but, activity wise, you might want to try the book that Sarah just recommended.
Right.
So
but only like a minute or two, because
right, you don't want to take up a lot of time.
Yes.
I'm gonna be doing the first one.
Okay, Brendan, okay, that'll be good. And then, let them know that we're gonna send people, and if there's anything he wants us to talk about, then we can.
So
Okay,
Megan, I'm gonna have to know what the program is before I can say anything about it.
I will make sure you know. You know what?
Okay.
We have it saved and I will send you a copy.
Okay, the meeting
is there anybody else that doesn't know what the affinity is? It's just that if you belong to if you use TD Bank as a bank.
Oh, okay.
If you let them, they ask you who you want as your charity, and whoever your charity is, they give some
Percentage of total
percentage of
deposits that
total
member.
deposit.
So
Yes,
I will
thank
send
you.
out, we do have the information tape on our Twitter, so I'll send it out to all of you, so you know what it is. If any of you have banking, checking, accounts with this bank, you really would, we would appreciate you going to bank. You want to be in touch with the library before you leave.
Right. I mean, it's actually made us $12,000 a year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The more of you that sign up,
Mhm.
the less I have to worry about the fundraiser I said.
I'm gonna have to check and make sure we're still on it.
Yes.
I think you signed up for now or something.
Yeah, that's when I signed up a long time and I went back and I rechecked, because sometimes you change to different accounts and stuff too, so it's a good thing to double check on. All right, well, we're gonna skip that last one for now. Any new business?
No.
Did you have anything under communications?
Well, I do. One was, I don't know, I think at the first meeting, Michelle Pollack mentioned that there had been a mistake made in the minutes concerning terms. And I have been through 3 years of the minutes and I can't find what the mistake happened. So I sent Sarah Dallas an email, one telling her how sad I was that she was leaving, because she truly has been a mentor for me. Also, there's no email to Sarah Dallas that doesn't include a question. So I did ask her if there was a way to correct that without having to go through all of the minutes for the past 10 years. She did say that that you have to be very careful how you word it, but you can have a resolution at a board meeting, basically saying it is now corrected. And then you could just move forward from that. So, and I honestly think by accepting the results of this past election and having the correct terms fixes the problem. But I think you have to make a resolution saying. So, but Linda and I are going to work on that for the next meeting. And then the other thing I just wanted you to be aware of, Sal's is very concerned about what's happening with ICE and immigration. And they have sent a lot of information to Sarah, to me. I am absolutely hopeful that nothing ever happens, but Sal's does want us to be prepared should immigration officers show up. I know that there is a big concern for Washington County because they do have more immigrant workers there. But there is a large number of Jamaicans who come here to work. I don't know what their status is. So Sal's wants us all to be prepared. I did print out the last information they sent us and it is on our desk. So we have it right there to reference it. I kind of a little heartsick. I don't ever want anyone who's here to be made to feel uncomfortable in our library. And that's all I'm going to say. But Sarah and I will be prepared. And I'm hoping I can do it without crying.
The next item of communications was the board workshop, that if anybody is interested in, the Adirondack Foundation is having a workshop on how to work with a board and things like that. Probably something that I'm going to try to go to, but if anybody else is interested in that, I didn't put the date on it, I should have.
There was a mistake on the website about the date. It's 2019, and I think it said like a Saturday, but then the dates didn't align with that, so
Okay.
I wasn't sure. And then when you go to their website to check, it's
I
still
couldn't find one with the squares.
Yes.
So
The-
I don't know what the correct date is for that, but I would love to attend that if I'm available.
Okay, I will see what I can find out about.
I didn't do
True
true
date.
either, but I did find,
Was it a discrepancy?
well,
Yeah.
it's 2019 seemed to be a pretty.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's what it said.
Oh, we don't.
So we're having
I
to
did
do
it.
I'll see if there was anyone to email back. Kind of us, yeah, that's okay. Okay. There's nothing else, communications, we'll go with the events, and the first thing that I want to talk about is a really exciting event of library days that Amy came up with. And she wants to show you a couple of things that she's going to do on Saturday. And by the way, it's going to be the first Saturday of the next 4 months. So if any of you would like to come to any of those dates, that would be great, because as Amy suggested, different people use the library in different ways, and sharing that information with people who come and will be really great. But for right now, I think it's going to be Amy and Mary. Here, Mary's going to do some crafts, so I'll let you guys talk about it. Go ahead.
So I put together a little scavenger hunt game, and I was gonna put these animals up around the library. And then there's the kids version and the grown-ups version. So the kids would just kind of go around and look for the animals and check them off. But then the adult one would be to go find places on the list, and that isn't set yet. So if you have an idea of something that I missed, but say like go to at the cookbooks, what ones at what animals at the children's picture books. And kind of use it as like a tour / game.
And then if people don't want to do the scavenger hunt, that they're just going to show them around and give them a verbal tour of what's going on. But the kids might, I mean, if an adult is with their kids and they'll do it together, that would be a lot of fun.
And the kids that finish are gonna get the gym.
Yeah, I think I've got some concessionaires at home, I think too, like we could give them something to play.
Okay.
And then Mary has an activity to do too, right?
I just, if kids
Yes.
show up,
Yes.
I'll leave this in a folder, like each month,
Okay.
different activities. Or whether it's poetry is April, like
I
drama
was-
for
I thought you were doing April Fool's Day.
Yeah, I just put it by, so Mother's Day.
Great.
We can try and get TV bank people. But I was also gonna set up my computer at one of these tables and just put a monitor and sit people down and show them how to use the website and how to request books.
Great idea.
Just
She also comes
help
up with a
anybody
little,
that wants to.
a card for your wallet, so, because when you first access the card catalog, you have to use your library card number. You could, once you're in, you can actually change that, so you have a username that you're gonna remember. Without having to call Megan and say, what's my number again? So Amy came up with a little business card, basically, where you can put that, what your username and password is on the card. And then on the back is gonna have some of the services that you can get with a library card.
I'll stop in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does everybody, and that is a good question. Do we all know how to use Libby and get books
I
online
really
and
use
audio
Libby.
books? No. And then also ordering books, say you wanted the woman and we don't have it here, you can also get it delivered from another library. So there's a way to do that. I mean, you can just come here and ask them to do it, but you can also do it from home, so you don't even have to.
There are
come
people who
out.
still
Yes.
are much happier asking Sarah and Sarah to do that, and we certainly don't mind. One of the things that we do for our patrons is, we keep a list of, especially if someone's reading a series, and we will order the next ones that come. We can just buy some for you. So, but it's great when people also can do that themselves. And Amy is the perfect one. I know I have said this a number of times and I won't keep saying it, but she really has used and taken full advantage of that. And I think it's amazing.
She's the only.
Great job.
Yes.
And it's 11 hours.
Oh,
You don't have to stay for the whole day.
Right.
Sarah and I are
Wanted
going to be here.
Come in for the day, or, if people, I don't know if anybody will actually get in touch with Amy, but if they say they're gonna come at a certain time, we want to make sure we have someone here.
My middle finger.
Here comes all the chess champions.
How'd you do?
What were you gonna say?
Michael, how'd you do?
Good.
Did you play Mr. Cummings?
No, my mom didn't. They're still playing. They're probably gonna be there until the break of dawn.
Come back next
I
time.
need special delivery.
Good, I'm glad.
All right, so anything else with library days, or does anybody have any questions about that? All right, so we talked about the coffee hour. Are we still gonna do that invasive, aquatic invasive species?
Yes.
Do we have a date for that?
Yes. It is on the bulletin board, Tara. It is that light green note.
May 22nd.
May 22nd?
Two programs. I think there's one in May and one in,
May 1st and May 22nd. May 1st is for aquatic plants and May 22nd for aquatic animals.
Okay, the preparedness corps, is that gonna be scheduled for your?
yes. Yeah, they just didn't send us any information for doing the actual advertising for the program. I think there was a mix up between the first person that I spoke to and then. So then there was someone else who stepped in, and so we just didn't stay.
You got the information now?
No, because we canceled it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's canceled altogether?
No, it was postponed. We just haven't set up a new date.
Yeah.
Oh,
They haven't
okay.
said anything.
So once, I'm gonna get back in touch with them, set up a date and make sure that they send us the stuff we need to advertise.
I heard it was really informative. They give out cheap goodies. Don't know what they are.
The bird window collisions, do we have a date for that yet, or?
I'm thinking that, that might be not happening because John from the Audubon Society is putting together a program for the fall
Oh, no,
that goes with Patrice.
two separate ones and he's not doing the fall one. So if we can get him to do the bird window collision.
Then, he and I have talked about it. I will get back in touch with him to confirm.
Okay, we already have a couple things in May, so. they wanna-
Yep.
Okay,
That's definitely.
and Bolton after school program, we've already talked about that. And, all right, any additional comments from trustees? Anybody have any other questions or anything? Okay, I'm done with that.
I thought maybe I put it wrong on my calendar. Thought that it wasn't before.
I know,
And then I realized it.
Yes, so the next meeting is March 19th. So, is there anyone else that knows now that they can't make it?
I think I might do.
Okay, what you do, if you would get back to me when I send out either when the agenda's set out, or if when I send the reminder a week before, if you could just get back to me and let me know. Just like confirmed I'll be there or something like that, that's really helpful. Because we do need to make sure that we have, a quorum, which means having 5 out of 9 people. Okay, I'm gonna be away too. Okay, so hopefully nobody else. No, but, right.
I just wanted to actually mention something that I noted in the social media report that was really interesting. The MailChimp newsletter, the most recent one, February, had a 65% open rate. It mostly ranges between 57 and 71% open rate. I don't know if anybody's familiar with newsletters. That's an extraordinary open rate.
It's
In the
We do know
commercial
that.
sector,
it's like 3 times higher than other
small
ones.
and medium businesses. If you send out a newsletter to your customers, if you get a 5% open rate, that's extraordinary. So the fact that we're at 65%, perhaps even more sometimes, is an extraordinary open rate.
You know your market.
What that's telling me too
Sarah
is
put
that
a lot of work
Well,
into
they-
the newsletter.
that's
They keep opening it.
it's a high interest rate in the newsletter, but it's also telling me, in absence of not knowing how far they scroll down in the newsletter, because I don't think we have data on that.
Okay.
But it's telling me that the newsletter potentially, especially on the first page, right up front, if we have very important content that has to get out to our reader base, that's an excellent vehicle to do that.
In fact,
Because
we are gonna have, Sarah's going to put together just a special one for the, check out your library program. And she's gonna get it finished tomorrow and get it sent out.
I saw it on Facebook. You look great on Facebook.
And if we can promoting that newsletter because it seems like it's a great vehicle for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had it signed up for, that was one of the things I think we should do when we're walking a new person through, is just get them signed up.
Right.
While we're on the website.
Yeah, we do have to make sure that they're, right. Actually, the other thing I just thought of is ask them if they want to be one of the library friends too.
It's, at some point this year, you really have to work to become an official friend, because you really can't just claim your friends at the library.
No, I checked that. They said it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Fine.
at the actual friends meeting that we went to, where they train you to do that,
Okay.
they said you don't, it's not illegal, so to use the word friends, if
Okay.
you're not by, what's the
501c3.
501c3 incorporated, so.
Okay. I think you would, if you, ever
If
do a
you're-
fundraising, you would have to actually get your own.
Right, if you're
Okay.
doing a lot of fundraising, yes, but right now, our friends group is really a group of volunteers more than they are, making.
Hi, Sarah.
members. But if they did kind of take a decide to do a lot of fundraising, then
Did you win?
No, I did not.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm
I
sorry.
was winning and then I lost.
Will you be back next
It all
month
fell
anyway?
apart.
You'll still come next month though, right, Chuck?
Pardon?
You'll still come next month, right?
Yes, I will.
Okay,
I don't think you
Yeah,
lost.
I didn't get these so badly again.
Too many distractions.
Thank you guys so much for letting us use the space.
Oh,
We
you're
have
welcome.
time. We'll be back next month.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, thank you.
Thanks so much.
But the can you just send me like how people would contact to.
Okay, yeah, I'll do.
What to do.
Yes, yes, I will, I will. All right, so anybody have any, if we have nothing else, then if I could have a motion to end the meeting, adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. Okay, and so it's 7:38. Okay, did everybody give me their conflict of interest form? Have those.
Note the time of the education.
No, I do it every time.
Okay. Now,
Not making
do I
the
need to sign? Getting.
Are we done?
Bye. Thank you so
I'm
much.
out of here.
Bye, Nikki. Bye, all. Woohoo! See you next month.
I haven't.
I will.